Now we're going to look at an amazing tool called the Immersive Reader. The Immersive Reader, in case you don't know, it helps people with any visual difficulties. It helps them to read any text that's in an online document. Okay, so let's look at it in action. So we're going to create a new slide, brand new slide there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add some random text on there. And what we're going to do is just launch the Immersive Reader and see what we can actually do with that. So we go to View and we go Immersive Reader. And it opens up in this window. And as you can see, it's just the text and a white background as it was on the slide. But if we had any images at all on the slide, it would actually remove those, so we just stay with the text. So if we just jump back and say we add some pictures onto here, let's just grab a couple of stickers and if those are around. So if we jump into Immersive Reader now with those images on there, we can see that it actually removes the images from the slide. So straight away it makes it much easier for the viewer to be able to read the text because they're not getting distracted by those superfluous objects on there. So we'll start off, we can see this play button at the bottom, so if we click play.
Making the move from school to A-levels doesn't have to be daunting. We have a dedicated A-level center.
So you can see it's reading the text for you. We've got a few voice settings here, so we can change the speed, so we can slow it right down, and we can change it from female to male voice. So if we hit play again.
Center and our staff are
Or if we want to speed it up a little bit.
experienced and well qualified in their subjects. Browse our range of levels and set yourself up.
So obviously you've got some basic control over there. Now, what we have as well is the ability to just click on an individual word, and we can click on the little speaker icon there.
Making
So it will actually pronounce the word for us. And we've got our picture dictionary open as well. So it gives you examples in picture format of what the word actually means. So this is great, especially if you're teaching ESOL. It's great for students to be able to look at this in the classroom, but if you were then sharing the document with the students, it's great for them to be able to look at this individually and check that they are interpreting the text as they should be. Now, if we look in the top right hand corner up here and we click on the two A's up here, we can see that we get a lot more options. So we can actually change the size of the text. So we can increase the text on here so that it makes it easier for us to read. Now this is just affecting the view in the Immersive Reader. So if we jump back into the actual slide, we can see that it hasn't affected any of this text in here at all. So we go back to the Immersive Reader, and again we can change the size. We can click on this because by default you've increased the spacing in between the letters to make it easier to read. You can undo that and you can put it back to how the text was originally, and you can see the difference there. We can obviously change the font as well to one that might be a little easier to read, and we've got the colours that we can change as well. So I know with some people who have dyslexia, it's easier to read text that is on a yellow background, so you've got the options to change the colours there as well. Then again at the top here, if we click the little option that's got the magic wand, we open up the grammar options. Now if we turn on syllables, we can see that it's adding a little dot in between each syllable. So we can clearly see that making has got 2 syllables there. So again, or not just ESOL, but anybody that's actually studying English, we can actually help them along by seeing the individual syllables on there. And we can go a step further as well. We can actually highlight the different parts of speech. So we can turn on nouns and we can select what colour we want the nouns to be. So let's say we want nouns to be purple. So now it's highlighted all of the nouns to be purple. And then we turn on verbs and adjectives and adverbs. So each one you can assign a different colour to. We can even, if we turn on show labels, we can even have them show up whether they are a noun, an adjective or a verb. Turn all those off now. And then the final one on the right hand side at the top here is reading preferences. We can actually have line focus. So it just focuses in on the one line that is being read at the time. And we can actually move up and down there. And if we go back, we can actually then set it to 3 lines as well. And the same thing here, we can move up and down. And if we actually press play,
Qualified in their subjects, browse our range of
so you can see that it actually reads just within these 3 lines. And then when it's finished those 3 lines, it will move down to the next ones. And if we turn line focus off, we're back to that. And as mentioned before, the picture dictionary. So that's on by default, but you can turn it off if you wanted to. And again, it's just by clicking on the individual words, it gives you a picture representation of what that word actually means. And we can actually translate as well. So we can obviously translate. So this is in English. We can obviously translate it to other languages and vice versa. But you might have noticed that by default, this was an American voice on here. So we can actually translate this into an English United Kingdom voice. So if we select that and we want to do the whole document, then when we hit play, we should have a more English voice than American.
Making the move from school to A levels doesn't have to be daunting.
So as you can see there, it's a much more English UK voice. So we're currently on English. If we switch back to the original, you can hear the difference.
pay lower tuition fees at our university levels.
And then back to the English. And obviously, while we're in English, we've got the choice of male and female as well. So if we put it to male English.
Daunting. We have a dedicated A-level centre and our staff are experienced and well qualified in their...
So you can see lots and lots of different features available there for the students to actually help them with their reading. And as mentioned before, this can actually be done in class in front of the students, or you can actually share this with the students so they can learn in their own time. And none of this affects the actual layout and the format of the original slides. So once we're finished with the Immersive Reader, we can just click exit and we're back onto the slide as it was before.